Hi, sorry about that. So it's raining, obviously. So there comes a time in anyone's life where they need to make changes. And those changes could be something as small as changing a mannerism, changing a habit, getting out of a habit, getting into a habit, like a good habit, like, getting up early. Like I've been trying to do that lately. It's a little hard. So, so with that being said, it could also be something big as like picking up and moving. Cleaning up your relationships, like getting rid of the toxic people and the people that bring you down in a very serious way. Or just not letting them bother you anymore. You know? Or it could be something as like, changing jobs. Like, for instance, jobs that, they pay you well, but they don't really work you. Jobs where you do your job, you show up, you never call out, and yet, you're treated, with utmost contempt. Not content, but contempt. Where you're treated like you're worthless and you're stupid. When that's not it. You just want some communication between, from boss to coworker. I mean, I understand, everyone has their stresses and their hang-ups, but when you show that you can do the job and you don't call out, you show up on time, if anything, you show up a little early. I show up every time I have a work day. I show up at least 30 minutes early because I like to prep myself to go in to work. Psych my mind. And also to talk to you fine ladies and gentlemen. So the thing is, sorry, whenever it's wintertime, my hands get so dry and I don't know what to do about it other than lotion, and even then it doesn't, So anywho, if your let's say if it's a job, if your bank account says you can't wait around for them to don you more hours, to bless you with more than just 2 days a week to work. If your bank account and your bills and your finances is saying you can't wait around for them, it's like a relationship. Work is like a relationship now. If you can't wait around for someone to commit, get on out of there. Because chances are, they're going to do it to you again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Until finally you get so fed up, you don't give a shit anymore, and you don't do your job. You just get fed the fuck up. Like me. So. My finances can't wait around. Like, I can't pay you this month, but maybe, just maybe, my job will give me more than 2 hours a week. I mean, no, more than 2 days a week. Maybe. Your bills and a debt collector they will not settle for that. They're going to bitch you out, insult you, treat you like garbage on the phone, and you don't need that negativity in your life. Nobody does. Nobody does. And let's face it, Debt collectors can be a little nicer, but let's also face it, they get lied to on the daily. So of course they're going to have a little shitty attitude with you, even if you are sincere, because they've heard it all. They've seen it all, they've heard it all on the phone. I'm going to be honest, I had one debt collector tell my mother when she said she had a car accident, she almost died, and my dad had 7 knee surgeries, and she also had brain surgery to get the pressure off her brain from smacking her forehead into the darn dash. This debt collector talking to my mother told her, that sounds like a personal problem. I fucking lost it. I took the number from my mother and I kept calling that bitch and said, hey, do you have any personal problems? Well, I understand. No, you don't. My parents could have died on that car accident, but oh, that's a personal problem. People dying and shit like that. Yeah, I lost it. Because something like that, where someone's life could have been extinguished within seconds, that's not really a personal problem. That's a travesty. That is a trauma. That is a life-altering thing, quite literally, because there won't be any life afterwards. As for me, I would have been parentless. I would have, in all technicalities, been an adult orphan. So would my sister. Oh, but for this debt collector, it's a personal problem. I hope she gets every bad karma smacking her in the face. And I hope she gets a debt collector calling her and saying, oh, you had all these horrible events that could have killed you and really sad things happen to you where you are just emotionally, mentally distraught. Well, that sounds like a personal problem. Well, I'll tell you one thing. She didn't call back again after the 16th phone call from me, freaking her out, screaming at her, just tearing into her ass. I'm not proud of it, but something had to be said, and I did not want that to go unpunished. I'm sorry. When someone says something that cold and heartless, they are not human in my eyes. They are a shit stain that needs to be bleached or burned. Sorry, not sorry. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that. I don't know what it is about me, but if you say or do something to a family member, mainly a family member, because I figure my friends have got it under control, because I don't think they want that batch of crazy and be associated with it. Well, with my family, they don't really have much of a choice, because I'm here. I've done it for my parents quite a few times, where someone would like totally be closed-minded, hateful. If someone picks on them, pray to God that you believe in God, because He's the only one that's going to bail you out. Because I will come after you. Not physically. I would just let you take a pause moment and realize that there are crazy people that will frighten you with words. And I will not hold back the fact that I am a witch. And I am not proud, but I am capable of doing some very serious, dire, earth-shattering things to someone's life. I don't want to. I don't want to have to do it. But I have a way of protecting my loved ones where if anyone ever comes back at them again, serious, terrible shit happens. As for karma, I will deal with my own karma if it were to come back on me. Just letting you know. And people, normal people, forget the fact that we exist, and we have to remind them when they keep fucking with other people that we care about. We have to remind them, hey, remember back in I don't know, in the 1600s and so on and so forth? You remember those scary people that were burned at the stake? Well, we're still a thing. Watch yourself. I pride myself in protecting people. I pride myself in spreading good karma and manifesting positive and good things. But when you start causing upset and pain and unnecessary pain and anguish and frustration, I tend to take personal offense to it when you do anything like that to my family. Henceforth, don't fuck with family. My husband included, and his family included. Well, his immediate family that are here face to face. But once upon a time, I knew a witch who was told she couldn't go hunting anymore because she was a woman. Because someone's wife got a little mad and jealous because she couldn't get off her fat, lazy butt and go hunting with her husband and bond. Well, this one witch took offense because the one woman that had a problem with it happened to be the wife of the club owner. Well, he was a farmer and he had farmland. So what did this witch do when she was told she could no longer be allowed to hunt around all those men because this one woman was so insecure with herself she couldn't see a woman being around all those men? Well, that one witch, not me, it wasn't me, I didn't do this, I would never do this, I don't fuck with nature. Period. I may give it a little nudge, like if rain needs to happen, but I didn't do this. This one witch, I guess you could say cursed the lands of this farmer who owned the club. She wished that his wife would get off her fat, lazy ass and get out of the house and get a job. Well, she did that because she had to, because this farmer's land and crop just failed. Nothing grew. He could see the neighboring farms that did not belong to him rain. And everyone around him was having a great season, a great crop. But, I know this sounds like old-timey shit, but he did not get one speck of rain. So, she was forced to get a job because he couldn't afford it. He had to sell his farming equipment and everything, and he actually had to close the club down. So, that was, this witch's curse did take an effect for the whole summer of that duration. And she had karma because no one could go back to hunt anymore on the hunting club because it was karma. You gotta be careful with what you wish for. We got to be careful with what we do. If you're angry, you have to take a step back and just figure out if it's worth it. 9 times out of 10, I don't do nothing. When I'm upset and mad at someone, I don't do anything to anyone. I just take a moment and I just kind of seclude myself and I'm just like, yep, I'm mad, I'm upset, but you know what? And I do catch myself. I was like, I wish. I'm like, no. So if I'm angry and I just say no for like a long, no, I'm bleeping out what I want to say, which is usually I wish or I hope when I'm mad. When anyone's mad, you don't ever say I wish or hope on anyone, because 9 times out of 10, we all have this kind of ability. When there's a lot of emotion, words, projecting causes a ripple into the day-to-day life energies, and they will hear it. And chances are it will manifest so hard, depending on how angry and upset you are, to the point where it would happen. You know the old famous words, abracadabra? Well, in translation, the real translations to the words abracadabra is I create with my words. And the opposite of abracadabra is avracadabra, which is I destroy with my words. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's a Harry Potter thing. Well, there are some words in Harry Potter lore that are real, that are old Latin. And let's face it, a lot of magical texts are based from Latin because it is the oldest translation that is universal. It was once upon a time universal, and to this day, Latin is used in medical terms and other words. Latin is the base of all languages. Like, for instance, uni. Here are some words that share that. Uni is usually singular. In Latin, it means singular, one, one. It means one, basically. Like, it doesn't matter. It's one. Whether it's a unicycle, a unitard, which is a one-piece suit. Unicycle is a one-wheeled bicycle. Union is basically a joint of many things that are joined together as to one, that work in a unison. Unison is one motion, all joined up in one motion. Universe is basically one big giant, where we are. University, again, it's practically in one place. University. If you look up, if you take apart every single English word, you can, and other languages too, instead of uni, it's uno, uno, I'm trying to think of another language, or in other languages, they take instead of the u, it's e or I, as in one, I, me, like ichi. I believe that's Japanese for one. Another language, German, eins. So it branches off and it's splintered apart for other cultures, but Latin is the base language. So if you're good at Latin, you can probably make some heavy duty spellage. But you gotta be careful who you piss off. And the messed up thing is, there is an entire generation that does not care, that firmly believe that if they don't believe in it, it can't exist. Well, I'm here to say that's not the case. And I can tell you there's a lot of people that I hear about and have been a part of, knowing of, experiencing people that have had repercussions tossed upon them where they've just screwed with the wrong person. Like in high school, there was a lot of kids like to play with the Ouija boards. I tell you what, I did not. I refuse. Too much trouble. It's too much trouble. Too many things can go wrong if you are not careful and you are not on top of your game. If you're not on top of your game, don't fucking touch a Ouija board. For God's sakes, don't touch a Ouija board. And then you got these idiots with Ouija board rugs. It's all fun and games till Roomba summons Satan. Or your Roomba gets possessed and tries to eat your freaking toes off. Oh. What are you doing, Roomba? Oh my God, it's possessed by Jeffrey Dahmer. My toes! No! Who's laughing now? You think I'm laughing. I'm being serious. You just gotta know these things. Okay? And I have seen and experienced things that I cannot say don't exist. Oh God, I wish I could say half the crap I've seen and witnessed and felt were just all in my head. That they don't exist, but I can't say that because, hey, I've been proven time and time again that they exist. We exist. If we exist, imagine what else exists. And I had some smart aleck one time ask me, does Bigfoot exist? Yes. He's just a little more smarter and knows how to hide very well. I mean, think of it this way. If an intruder comes into your house trying to get proof that you live there, you can easily hide in a place that you know. So, of course, Bigfoot's going to be hiding in the woods where he knows where there are some damn good hiding spots. And we don't, because we don't live there. For fun, I did study cryptozoology. I don't know if I said it right, but that is what the course was called. Cryptozoology. Half the stuff aren't even in the category of the zoology. It's actually humanoid. So it should be... I don't know. I don't care. I don't care today. So, in high school, I know I got off subject. In high school, the hip thing was to play around with black magic. Trouble was, a lot of people played around with it and didn't realize that there is always a price whenever you do these things. Well, this one girl was being bullied. And she was... You can tell that she was into some deep, dark, black magic. I mean, she even prayed to a deity, not Lucifer, something way older than that. And that girl educated me to what to be afraid of. I was always nice to her because I felt that if I wasn't, she would probably send something to possess me, haunt me, and rip me to shreds in my sleep. So, yeah. I'm not joking, by the way. So, this one girl, locked her in the shower room. There was a door, between the locker rooms. There was a door, and, And then there was the shower rooms, and the locker room was on the other side of the other door. So what she decided to do was go in there while the girl was showering after gym and took her clothes that she was changing into, took her clothes, and locked her in the shower room. So the poor girl was naked. And of course it was in the wintertime, so the shower room was abnormally cold. Long story short, she wanted to get revenge. She knew exactly who it was that messed with her. So what she did was, this is a gypsy curse that she did to her. And those things are old, and they work. It's called the bad penny. I called it the bad penny curse, where she gives her something that she she attaches an evil, spirit, demon, whatever. She attached an evil something to this one item, and it was she went out and went to Claire's and bought a keychain, and she attached it unknowingly to this girl's backpack. She attached it to the backpack and zipped it up with the keychain tucked into the pocket. And it was one of those little pockets that, you don't really frequently go into unless you really utilize all of your backpack. And who did that? Who utilized all their backpack? We didn't really want to carry our backpacks, but it was hers, it belonged to her, and she bequeathed it upon her. And she walked up to her after she did it and said, "I gave you a little present. I hope you like it." And then she tapped her on the shoulder and she said, "I release you." And she did it 3 times. "I release you. I release you." And I'm like, and I felt it. I looked at her and I'm like, and I asked her, I said, "What the hell did you do? I know you did something." She said, "No matter how bad it gets," she says, "don't help her. If you do, you're next." I'm like, you don't have to warn me twice. I'm good. I've seen what you can do. So, long story short, that girl had every bad thing happen to her. Out of respect, I'm not going to divulge how bad it was, but let's just say her life is completely destroyed, and I have not heard from her. She doesn't even have a Facebook account or MySpace account. Yes, I'm going back as far as MySpace. She has no MySpace account, no Facebook account. Anything bad that could happen to her, happened to her. You imagine it, you think it, yes, it happened. Let's just say people died. And I distanced myself from that person too, the caster. We'll just call her the caster. I've distanced myself from her because that is deep, dark, and scary, and I don't know where she is. I don't know what's became of her, but I too cannot find her on any social media network. I can only assume what happened. But, I just stayed nice to her because I was hoping if I was continuously nice to her that maybe, just maybe, she could just come back to the light. I know that sounds cheesy, but this is real. It's real. Now, granted, a lot of us want our privacy and we don't want people to know. I think it's fair warning to let normal people know that we exist. We're real, but we're not evil and terrible. We don't run around cursing people. I run around and keep balance. I run around and fix things that are wronged. I try to do what I can to make the world a better and brighter place, while there are others that don't want that. I try to protect and care and nurture. Like when someone's severely depressed, I try to alleviate it. If someone is angry, I try to bring them peace and calm. when people are just generally upset, I try to, I let them vent, and randomly people vent to me. I mean, I can be grocery shopping, not even like, not even doing any business or working. I mean, I could be just minding my own business, picking up something as menial as tampons or body wash or something, and someone's like venting, and I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And it starts like that, and they're like, you know what bothers me? And I'm just like, what? I'm like, no, what? And then they just tell me whatever is going on. I'm like, well, you know what? I said, I hope the best for you. And sometimes that's all they really want, is someone to wish them well and hope the best for them. So, well, that's all I have time for today. So I wish we all have a really good day today.